My beloved brothers and sisters, walking away quietly protects your peace and allows Allah to handle what you can't. Many times in life, you reach a point where your heart becomes tired, not because you are weak, but because you have carried more than you were ever meant to carry alone. You argue, you explain, you try to fix what keeps breaking you, and you fight to prove what only Allah truly knows. But the more you speak, the heavier your heart feels. That is when Allah teaches you a powerful lesson. Silence is not surrender, silence is protection. It is in the quiet moments of letting go that your soul begins to breathe again. There are people who will never understand your intentions, no matter how much you clarify. There are situations where your goodness is taken for granted, no matter how much you give. And there are moments when no amount of talking can bring peace. Only distance can. Walking away quietly doesn't mean you hate anyone. It simply means you love yourself enough to stop allowing your heart to be wounded repeatedly. You choose your mental and emotional well-being over battles that drain you. You choose your peace over chaos, and that choice is a form of courage. When you walk away quietly, something beautiful happens. You hand the matter to Allah. You acknowledge that He sees the tears hidden behind your smile, the pain you never voiced, and the efforts no one appreciated. You tell your Lord through your silence, "Ya Allah, I have done my part. Now I leave the rest to you." And Allah never disappoints a heart that trusts Him. When you step back, He steps forward. When you stop fighting for your own dignity, He fights for it in ways far more powerful than you ever could. Often the noise outside isn't as harmful as the noise inside your heart. Overthinking, replaying conversations, trying to defend yourself, all of this steals your peace. Quietly walking away shuts the door on the noise. It allows your heart to heal, your mind to clear, and your soul to reconnect with the one who controls everything. Your silence becomes a sanctuary where you rebuild your strength, reflect on your journey, and remind yourself that your worth comes from Allah, not from people. There is a special kind of peace that comes after walking away with dignity. You feel lighter, calmer, and more centered. You realize that you don't lose anything by leaving what harms you. You actually gain space for what Allah has written for you. Sometimes Allah removes something from your life not to punish you, but to protect you. You may not understand it immediately, but later you will look back and say, "Alhamdulillah, that silence saved me." So don't be afraid to walk away quietly when your heart needs it. Don't fear losing people who are hurting you, draining you, or keeping you away from Allah's peace. You are not running from the problem. You are rising above it. And when you rise above silently, you rise with dignity, strength, and the sweet assurance that Allah is now handling what you no longer need to carry. Silence is strength. Not every argument or betrayal deserves your voice. In life, people will misunderstand you, accuse you, hurt you, and expect you to fight back. Your heart will want to explain, to correct, to defend itself. But explanation is not always a solution, and defending yourself is not always dignity. Sometimes the real strength is in your ability to stay silent and keep your heart clean. Silence is not a sign that you lost. It is a sign that you refuse to lose yourself in noise that has no benefit. There are arguments that drain your energy without bringing clarity. There are accusations that rise from jealousy, anger, or misunderstanding, not from truth. If you respond to everything, you give power to what should have no place in your heart. Your peace becomes dependent on people's reactions, and your worth becomes a discussion for the world. Silence breaks that chain. It frees you from the prison of trying to convince people who have already decided not to listen. It protects your heart from emotional exhaustion and protects your dignity from being dragged into battles that Allah never asked you to fight. When someone betrays you, your first reaction is often to confront them, to demand answers, to ask you why. But sometimes the answer doesn't heal you. Sometimes the truth only hurts deeper. Silence doesn't mean this betrayal didn't cut you. It means you choose not to bleed in front of people who caused the wound. You choose emotional maturity. You choose to step back, breathe, and let Allah handle what you cannot control. The moment you remain silent, your heart begins to detach from the pain and attach to Allah, the one who truly understands your wounds. Every moment of silence is a moment of strength. It teaches patience. It teaches wisdom. It teaches you that not every battle requires your presence. Some battles are meant to be surrendered to Allah. When you stay silent, you allow Him to defend you in ways you can't even imagine. Allah's justice is subtle but powerful. He clears your name, protects your heart, and exposes truths at the perfect time. Your silence becomes a form of trust, a quiet message to Allah saying, "You see everything. I leave this with you." Silence also protects your character. Your dignity shines more in silence than in shouting, arguing, or emotional reaction. People respect the one who stays calm, who doesn't respond to negativity, who rises above emotional chaos. Silence is not weakness. It is restraint. It is control over your own soul. It is refusing to let anyone pull you out of the character Allah loves. In the end, silence teaches you the art of rising above. It helps you keep your heart clean, your mind peaceful, and your soul connected to Allah. You realize that your value doesn't decrease because someone doesn't recognize it, and your truth doesn't change because someone denies it. Peace becomes more important than being right. Growth becomes more valuable than winning. And your silence becomes your shield, protecting you, healing you, and raising you to a level where only Allah's approval matters. Living with dignity opens the doors to better people, calmer environments, and Allah's hidden blessings. There are times in life when you hold on so tightly to someone or something simply because you are afraid of the emptiness that comes with letting go. But you don't realize that the emptiness you fear is actually the space Allah wants to fill with something better. When you live with dignity, without bitterness, without revenge, and without drama, you show Allah that you trust His plan more than your own fear. And Allah never leaves a heart empty when it lets go for the sake of peace. Sometimes you remain in places where your worth is ignored, your kindness is taken for granted, or your voice is lost. You keep trying to fix things that are not meant to be fixed. You keep giving chances to people who don't change. You keep pouring love into hearts that don't value it. But dignity teaches you that walking away is not losing anything. It is protecting everything Allah gave you. Your peace, your heart, your self-respect. When you live with dignity, you protect your soul from becoming bitter. You protect your heart from breaking again. And you protect your future from being tied to what was never meant for you. Living with dignity doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to choose peace. You don't insult, you don't expose, you don't curse, you don't seek revenge. You simply step back, breathe, and move forward quietly. You trust that Allah sees everything. The sacrifices you made, the tears you hid, the loyalty you gave, and the hurt you endured. When you live with a clean heart, Allah rewards you with something far greater than what you walked away from. Allah's blessings often come disguised as painful endings. You may lose a friend, but Allah brings people who feel like family. You may walk away from a toxic environment, but Allah leads you to a place where your heart finally feels safe. You may leave someone who broke you, but Allah sends someone who helps you heal. Every time you let go with dignity, Allah replaces your loss with something full of mercy. You don't see it immediately, but slowly you feel lighter, calmer, and more hopeful. You begin to understand that Allah closes doors not to punish you, but to protect you. Living with dignity is also a reflection of your maturity. It shows that you value your peace over proving a point. You understand that not every end needs to be loud. Sometimes the strongest closure is silence. Sometimes the biggest victory is walking away without hatred. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Because your silence says, I know Allah will give me better. At the end of the journey, you realize that walking away with dignity was the key to your new beginning. What you left behind was never meant to stay. What Allah has written ahead is far more beautiful than what you lost. And when your heart finally arrives in a place filled with peace, love, and blessings, you will whisper, this is why Allah told me to walk away.